Good morning, y'all. This is Dietra D, and welcome to another episode of the Dietra D Show. I apologize in advance, y'all, if I do a little bit of coughing. I got a scratchy throat this morning. But anyway, let's get into it. I'm going to start off with a question, and this is a serious question because I have been seeing some things probably for the last 5 to 10 years that has become really disturbing. And that question is, when did being a good man become a bad thing? And I wanted to talk about that because, number one, it seems to have become like the new thing. All of these men inside the NFL, outside the NFL, regular, everyday Joe Blows. But it seems to be a trend now that everybody has something negative to say about Russell Wilson. I don't understand that. And then what made me really want to talk about it is I saw this guy. I was out and about one day last week. I forget what the day was, but I was out and about, and this wasn't the first time I saw this, but it makes me just want to vomit every time I see it. And I saw this guy. He was black, and he had on a white tank top. I'm sure you know the look, ladies. He had on a white tank top, some house shoes, and his pants were sagging around his behind, and he looked like he hadn't bathed in about a year. And like I said, when I saw it, it made me sick to my stomach. And that's not the first time I've seen that. You know, you go out and you see a lot of guys doing that nowadays. And you don't just see the young guys doing it. You see a lot of older guys. I've seen guys in my age bracket, and I'm 53. I've seen men in my age bracket doing that. And it's just so gross to me. But yeah, it's like being a good man nowadays. It's like it seems like it's become a bad thing, and I just want to know when that is. In my 53 years, I've been around a lot of different men. I've been around white men, black men, Hispanic men, a few Asian men, and I just really want to understand when this became a thing. You know, when did it become a bad thing to be a good man? We all know, especially us NFL fans, we all know about Russell Wilson. Nice looking man. He was married before to a white lady. Have nothing against her. And then he fell in love and married Sierra, who already had a child by another man. They got married, and they, seemed to have a very nice life. I don't know them personally, but they seem to have a nice life. They seem to love each other. They're raising their children together. But a lot of men have hopped on the let's bash Russell Wilson train. I've lost count of how many times I've heard men, especially black men, call him a simp. And it's like, why? He met a woman, fell in love with her, married her, took her child with another man, and is helping her to raise him. He's raising that child as his own. And that's a bad thing. And what makes it so bad and so funny is a lot of the same guys that are talking trash about Russell Wilson, they're not good men. And maybe that's where the problem is. Because men that are not good, we like to call them beta males. Men that are not good, they usually are intimidated by a real man. And in my opinion, from what I've seen, again, don't know him personally, but from what I've seen, in my opinion, Russell Wilson is a man, a real man. And let's go a little bit deeper. What exactly makes a man a real man? Well, in my opinion, and you really have to sit back and watch, because a lot of men that aren't good, a lot of bad men, they will mimic what a good man does in order to draw you in. And I hate to say this, but as a black woman, I see what goes on in our community, the black community. And in our community, it's a sad truth. And don't get me wrong, all black people don't do this, but a lot of black males and even some black females in our community, a lot of y'all seem to praise ignorance. And I don't like that. I really don't. Ignorance is not cool. Being a deadbeat dad is not cool. Putting your hands on a woman is not cool. Not paying your child support is not cool. Bragging about how big your dick is, that is not cool, and that does not make you a man. How much money you have, that does not make you a man. Real men are providers. Real men don't leave a trail of kids behind them. Real men know how to talk to you. They know how to listen. Real men are not entitled. They don't have that entitlement attitude. Real men also know how to respect your boundaries. Bad men don't know how to do those things. They won't do those things. And let's not forget the catcalling. Real men don't catcall. Real men are going to approach you respectfully. And I think that's the problem. A lot of these guys, like I say, some of the guys are still in the NFL. Some of them are retired. But it's like, where do you get off talking trash about this man who's over here doing what real men are supposed to do? This man he courted and married the woman that he fell in love with. He became a father to her child with another man. He is providing for their family. The men that constantly dump on him and call him a simp are well-known women abusers. They're well-known cheaters. Some of them, like the idiot who recently spoke negatively about Russell after Russell invited him to his home for Thanksgiving some years back. He spent several years in prison. So it's like, where do these guys get off fixing their mouths to talk negatively about this man over here who's actually being a man? It's just a head scratcher to me. It's like you guys have no room to talk. Instead of worrying about what Russell and his wife are doing and how he's treating her, why don't you go and take the steps to become a better man? Go to an anger management class so you can learn how to stop beating on your girlfriend or your wives. Go spend time with your 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 kids that you got with 4, 5, and 6 different women. Go and pay their child support before you fix your mouth to talk about what a real man is doing. Like, come on. And when you point things like that out, they get angry. But who cares? You can sit up here and fix your mouth to talk about this man, but yet when somebody calls you out on your bullshit, then it's a problem. This man over here, Russell, he's taking care of his responsibilities. Like I said, he's doing what a man is supposed to do, what a man was meant to do. Oh, and this is one of my favorites. Let me tell you something else that real men don't do. And I'm pretty sure you ladies out there that are listening to my voice, I know some of y'all, if not most of you, have heard this line. Real men don't ask a woman, well, what do you bring to the table? Excuse you? In my humble opinion, only beta males ask that kind of question. No real man is going to ask a woman what she brings to the table because real men know how to provide. If you have to ask a woman what she brings to the table, I'm sorry, but in my opinion, you've already lost. And real men definitely, this needs to be repeated. Real men definitely do not walk around with their pants hanging around their dusty ass. Y'all need to stop that. I just wonder if some of you all know where that came from. That's a whole nother story. But yeah, I just wonder if some of y'all know where that came from. Real men does not ask a woman or mention anything about what's in his pants. Real men don't brag about their penises. How many women you slept with, that doesn't make you a man either. I don't know when it started, but somewhere along the line, the definition, a lot of people's definition of what a real man is, has gotten skewed. I don't know when it happened, but it happened, and it's not pretty because a lot of guys are walking around here and they'll tell you quick, fast, and in a hurry, I'm a man. You gonna respect me as a man. Sir, I don't listen to what people say. I watch what they do, and your actions do not show the actions of a man. Your actions show that of a boy. And hell, sometimes you can't even say that. Because I've seen high school boys, teenage boys walking around here that show more respect to women than some of these fully grown men out here. And that's sad when a high school boy knows how to act more than a fully grown man does. Some of y'all really need to get your stuff together, because you're going out sad. Some of y'all strut around like peacocks, telling any and everybody how much of a man you are. And that's another one. Real men don't have to announce that they're a man, because their actions show that they're a man. Some of y'all out here in the world strutting around like peacocks and don't even realize how much of a fool you look like. Wearing name brand clothes and how much money you got in the bank. That's all nice and good. There's nothing wrong with that. I dress nice. I want my man to dress nice. But the kind of clothes you wear and how much money you have, that doesn't make you a man. And please stop bragging about your penises. And that's not just to black men, that's to all men. But yes, especially to black men. Having a big dick does not make you a real man. Y'all need to get it together. And sitting on a podcast constantly talking trash about women, especially black women, that doesn't make you a man either. That makes you sound like just what you are, an unhealed, woman-hating male. Go and get some therapy, because a lot of y'all are walking around here unhealed. And that's why you mad when you come across a man like Russell Wilson. Because Russell Wilson, he's not the only one. There are still some good men walking around. There really are. But see, the bad men, they talk shit about the good ones because they don't compare. And they deep down, they know they don't. That's why Russell Wilson gets so much hate, because all of these other fools, they know that they can't compare to him. Guys like Russell Wilson, they hold a mirror up to the other men's ain't shitness. And that's why they mad. Don't get mad. Go get some therapy, get healed, and become a better man. And then you can rise up and you too can be a real man. Because some of y'all ain't it. And any man that hears my voice that gets mad about anything I say, you probably one of the ones that ain't shit. Stop praising ignorance. And this is a message to some of you women too, because unfortunately there are some women out there, you give the time of day to the kind of bad men that I'm talking about. And that's why a lot of them won't change, because they're still pulling in women. And of course, it's usually low self-esteem women. But that's why a lot of the ain't shit men are not changing, because they're still able to pull women with the amount of money they have or with how many muscles they have. And being muscular, that doesn't make you a real man either. Some males think that all they got to do is go to the gym every day and pump some iron and get 50 million muscles, and that's it. They think that's all they got to do is, quote, be fine. As long as they fine, then in their minds, that makes them a man. Oh, and one of my favorites. You know who else is a real man? Y'all gonna really hate this one. Barack Obama. He's another example of a good man, a real man. Handle your responsibilities and stop trying to dump all over something just because you don't measure up. Sit down and have a talk with a guy that you're talking shit about. Sit down and have a conversation with him. Maybe he can give you some pointers, help you out, so you too can become a real man. But I know a lot of y'all not going to do that because a lot of y'all don't want to do the work. All you want to do is flash whatever little money you have, make some women feel bad about themselves, walk around grabbing your crotch, you don't want to actually do the work to become better men. You just want to shit all over another guy who actually is a good man, who actually is doing what he's supposed to do, handling his responsibilities. It's not cool to praise ignorance. Too many of y'all praise cheaters. Too many of y'all praise abusers. A lot of y'all, from what I've seen and heard, a lot of these same guys that are talking trash about Russell Wilson, they talk more trash about Russell Wilson than they did Ray Rice. Oop, but y'all ain't ready to talk about that though, are you? Yeah, y'all remember Ray Rice, the same guy who was seen on video slinging his then girlfriend up against a wall like she was a bag of trash and knocking her unconscious. They talk more trash about Russell than they did him. But like I say, y'all ain't ready to have that conversation, so I'm going to leave that alone. Anywho, y'all leave me some comments. What y'all got to say? I know some of y'all mad, but I don't care. You'll be okay. Leave me some comments. What you think? Anywho, this is Dietra D. I appreciate y'all listening, and I will see you on the next episode. Bye-bye.